Talked about Operation Mincemeat. It was the code name given to a daringly brilliant Second World War intelligence manoeuvre. It's inspired several books and a serious movie starring Colin Firth. And who saw this coming? It's the musical version that's the runaway hit. Part plucky comedy drama, part Monty Python farce, with a dollop of Gilbert O'Sullivan thrown in. It's about to tour the UK. I have to confess, Sean, and the entire cast of Operation Mincemeat is here. You'll hear from them in a moment. But Sean, when I saw a poster that said Operation Mincemeat, and I thought, oh yeah, that's where they get the dead guy and a musical comedy. And I thought, really? How's that going to work? So how does that work?
I mean, the most mental ideas are often the ones that really work.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you talk to someone who went, what, a musical about a man-eating plant?
True.
From 40 years ago.
Yeah,
That'll never
right.
work.
You're
you know,
right,
I think sometimes there's this perfect storm that the story of actually how it came about is really interesting. So Natasha Hodgson, who's one of the writers, was on holiday with her family. And they were sat by the beach, and her brother had the headphones in and said, here, you should write a musical about this podcast I'm listening to. It's a history podcast. And if you're in the creative arts, you all have that family member who just write a play. Just do it. It's that easy. You should just go write a thing. So she went, oh, okay, whatever. Okay. She has a listen. And then she goes, oh God, we're doing a musical about World War II. And she texted the gang and then they listened to it. I think it's been such a runaway success is because it's such a mad story. But what this musical does so well is it will make you laugh. But it also takes itself very seriously as well at times. And it becomes a tribute to the people who maybe didn't get the recognition that they deserved during the war.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their part to play. And what this becomes ultimately is a tribute to those people.
One of whom, Charles Chumley, you play. Tell us about Charles.
So Charles Chumley is the architect of Operation Mincemeat. He kind of came up with the idea, and then with the help of Ewan Montague, who is another person at MI5, they kind of put this plan into action. They found the body of a deceased homeless person, dressed him up like a pilot, handcuffed a briefcase full of fake documents to his wrist, dumped him off the coast of Spain so he would wash ashore in Spain.
It's an incredible
It's
story.
Mental. It's stranger than fiction. It has to be a comedy. When you hear you read up about it, there are so many things that are stranger than fiction that are really hilarious. And the funny thing is, it's all true.
As I say, Sean, the entire cast is here. So could you introduce them?
Yes. So we have the lovely Jamie Rose, who is playing Colonel Bevan and others. We've got Charlie here, who's playing Jean and others. Holly's playing Ewan Montague, as mentioned, and the lovely Christian Andrews is playing Hester.
So the five of you play 50 parts?
60, I think, between us.
I do beg your pardon, I lost count.
Yeah, so do we sometimes.
That must be exhausting. You must be, when you come off, what's it like?
It certainly is, yeah. You kind of forget, There's a lot of hat swapping and accent swapping, and you're going to hear me singing in a very British accent in about 5 minutes.
Because Charles Chumley, the part you play, is a very well-spoken Englishman. I'm not saying you're not well-spoken, but you've got a different accent, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely.
There's some kind of mild humour about class and class difference in the production, isn't there? Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't shy away from poking fun at maybe certain people in charge who were given certain advantages that others didn't have. Yeah. And I think, again, the beauty of the show is it acknowledges the contribution from all social strata, all different levels of social class.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
In his life, Glyndor Michael, the body who they used was, had a very, very rough life. But in his death, he saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
That's amazing.
So it's all these little parts that we have to play.
Amazing.
It's really special.
I think we should probably hear a little.
Yeah.
What are you going to sing?
We're going to sing the opening number from Operation Mincemeat. It's called Born to Lead.
Great.
We get to meet some of these characters.
Great.
You dreamt of being a pilot, but you never got to fly. So you dreamt of sailing the 7 seas, but never got to try. Well, let Navy lads get soaking, we'll all stay nice and dry. We shout to all the soldiers, jump, and hear them shout, how high? For we were made to give the orders, while lesser men take heed. For some were born to follow, but we were born to lead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MI5.
You're sure to save the nation.
Nanny told me in my cot.
For your father gave you courage.
Also ponies.
And that yacht.
My centuries of breeding,
I know they'll fail me not.
For fortune favours bravery,
And a fortune's what I've got.
oh yes,
Some boys go to battle, but we're a different breed. For some were born to follow, but we were born to lead.
we are the masters
masters.
We are the clever men who hold the reins.
For who needs guns when you've got brains?
You'll see forever after.
Forever after.
And when this
War is done and face to dust, the world will turn and say to us that we were born to lead.
When I was a young explorer,
Yes.
I discovered a new breed of trout.
What?
It leapt into my kayak and just briefly knocked me out.
Sorry, what?
The feeling was quite magical when it slapped me on the mouth. It made the local papers, rare fish attacks Boy Scout. It's still my proudest moment, of that I have no doubt. For some were born to follow, but I was born to find trout.
Morning military deception.
Watch out, boys, the big boss is here.
Now, as we're all aware, the next Allied invasion target is Sicily. And the key to invading Sicily is not invading Sicily.
Sorry, what?
At least that's what Hitler's going to think. We're going to convince the Nazis that we're headed for somewhere else instead.
A misdirection.
Exactly.
So we're going to win this war with a magic trick.
How else do you make 100,000 German troops disappear? Sicily could turn the tide of the war, but we can't just rock up and knock upon the door. For each man they've got 10 more. We'll be
Slaughtered before we even reach the shore.
We need a way to reduce the danger, tip the odds in our favour, go to great length to drain the strength of the Sicilian defence by misdirecting their dear dictator. Gotta make Hitler believe Sicily isn't where we're gonna be. Gotta proceed with some dishonesty, gotta deceive, because what I wanna see is hundreds of thousands of Germans getting off our property. So I need your brains to figure out how we sell our fake campaign. Find me a strategy, use your grey matter to tactically scatter the enemy to the breeze. Then once the island is unattended, once the beaches are undefended, we send our boys in, then we destroy them. That's how Sicily is apprehended. What this country needs is a genius plan.
What this country needs is a genius man, for we were born to lead. Oh, brothers, let's get winning. My mind shall set us free. Gonna win the war, champagne galore, as I flick on the V. I'll definitely get a knighthood and a Victoria Cross or 3.
Look up victory in the dictionary, there's a picture there of me.
We are the
Finest minds in England, on that we are agreed.
for some were born to follow.
Some were born to follow, some were born to follow, but we were born to lead.
Fantastic. Sean Carey, Christian Andrews, Charlotte Hannah Williams, Holly Sumption, Jamie Rose Monk, and your MD, we should say. Thank you very much, guys. Operation Mincemeat is at the Lowry here in Salford for the next fortnight. After that, on tour all around the country. Loads of dates throughout this year. Details on the Operation Mincemeat website. Catch it if you can. As you can hear, it is a lot of fun. And second unexpected mention